Yeah. So here we are going to discuss the balanced symbol. We use balanced symbol in many expressions. So here when I say balanced symbol, it means to say the different types of parentheses or brackets that we use in our expressions. So we may use brackets like curly braces, square bracket, and the parentheses. When you say it's balanced means for every square bracket, there must be a square bracket corresponding, and there for every parenthesis, there must be a closing parenthesis. For every open square, there must be a closing square. For every curly brace, there must be a closing curly brace should be there. Only upon this satisfying this condition, we say that it is a balanced symbol. Now, here we will look into it how this program is going to be implemented for finding a balanced symbol. So here we make use of the stack. So the stack is already defined. So we make use of the stack and all the parameters and properties of the stack is going to be made use. So we define this as a function over here, and this function will accept the input as a string, and we scan the string. If it's an opening bracket, we'll push it onto the stack. If it is a closing bracket, we try to pop the content from the stack. Before pop, we ensure that the stack is not empty. And also, we are not going to draw conclusion immediately as we have done with the balanced parenthesis. Instead, what we do, we check for the some parameters. Then we come to the conclusion whether it's a balanced or not. Okay. So now when we go with the implementation, we use a balanced symbol function here, and it is using an argument of type string. So not of type, it is an argument called string. As we pass the value into it, it becomes the a string argument. And also the match to local variable we are used, it is set to true. Then for a loop for variable, we are having the index 0, and the stack variable it's going to be, or stack object it's going to be a st here. Now here we scan the string one by one, so until the index is less than length of the string and the match is equal to true, we scan the string, and as we scan the string, we implement the algorithm as well. So the scanned character will be placed onto a symbol if the symbol is any of this, that is the opening parenthesis, opening curly brace, or opening square bracket, then we push it onto the stack. Push it onto the stack. Please understand that. Then, if the scan character is a closing bracket, if it's a closing bracket, so before we pop, we ensure that the stack is having a content. If the stack is not having a content, then we cannot proceed. So we set the match to false immediately, and the loop will be terminated. And by chance, if it is having a content, then what we do, we pop the content from the stack, but we will not draw the conclusion immediately. Rather, what we do, we use a function, one more function here, to check whether the types of brackets are same. Okay, types of brackets are same. So now here, when you say that the st pop, let's say for example, it is it opened a curly brace. It resulted a curly brace, and the symbol it is going to be what? Closing bracket, right? And let us assume that this is a closing bracket. That is what returned from the scanning the string. So this is from popping, and this is from the scanned element. And now we send this to here into the check function, where start is going to be the opening bracket, end is going to be the closing curly brace. And now here for our local use, there are two variables are declared here, sta and en. sta is having a string in the form where opening bracket is here, opening curly brace and opening square bracket, and the opening parenthesis is there. So this will be at the position at the 0. This will be at the position 0, and this will be at the position 1, and this will be at the position 2. And similarly, there is one more variable, no string variable here. There we use the set of closing brackets. So we set the closing brackets in such a way the index values of the corresponding brackets are same. So if you look into it now, the index of the opening and closing of curly brace is going to be 0, right? And similarly for square bracket 1 and closing bracket is going to be 2. Then, then what do we do? We check, we check the whether the of index of let's because we have already taken start index of start, okay, index of start of sta. That means what is the index of the opening bracket in sta? In sta, that is going to be 0. That's going to be 0. And similarly in end, what is the bracket we have it here? It's a closing brace. So closing curly brace is going to be the index. Now this index is value is what? The end. This is 0. So now these two index are same. If these two index are same, then we say that it is true. It's going to return what? It's going to return this condition is going to return true to the calling program. Then the matched will be. So as a result, this matched will be set to true. Okay. So this is to ensure that the symbols are matched properly. Then to complete the loop, every time the index will be incremented by 1. And finally, what do? We come to the conclusion now as we do the pushing and popping operations and the checking the type. At the end, at the end of the loop, if the stack is empty and the matched is also true, then we set the output as true. So it will return true to say that the given expression is having a balanced symbol. Else, that means stack is having still content or the matched is set to false. Then what we'll do? Immediately we return false to say that it is a unbalanced symbol. And in order to make use of this function, what we do? We call the function by passing them a string of brackets, okay, or brackets in the form of a string, so which will be passed here, and it will be pushed, popped, checked, then finally we'll draw the conclusion whether it is balanced or not. Thank you.